Please be good, please be good, please be good. A glimpse into my internal monologue prior to entering the cinema that movie posters forgot. Honestly, there were none, inside or outside. Fortunately, good it was. Now, I am a huge DC fan. Friendships have been ruined, lives destroyed, battles won, DC is better than Marvel, etc. You get the idea. I would have been all the emotions if this movie was a pile of pants. When a director declares he or she is a massive fan of X, Y and Z, experience says take it with a megawatt pinch of salt. Rian Johnson said he loved Star Wars after all. However, in Superman, in James Gunn's case, it actually may be true. The plot is ultimately Superman versus Lex Luthor. Yes, there is a lot going on around them. Yes, there is a conflict between two warring countries as a subplot, but really the plot is Lex Luthor's ego versus Superman's gosh darn wholesomeness. And David Corenswet is a fantastic Superman. He makes for a goofy Clark Kent. He's been a journalist for 3 years, but somehow he doesn't know how to use a dictaphone, or at least pretend to know how to use one. What's with that? Personally, I think putting Lex Luthor's obsession with power, control, and with Superman front and centre was a superb move. Nicholas Hoult is an awesome Luthor. He plays the creepy obsession, the manicness, the intellect, the jealousy and bitterness so well, and by the end of the movie it feels like just the beginning for their saga. That these two characters, these two actors, are very likely to appear in future DC movies or TV against each other, sharing the screen, is very exciting. They seem so at home in their respective roles, it was great to witness. If you want to compare him to other iterations, and let's face it, the internet will, he's definitely more Christopher Reeve than Henry Cavill. Completely different vibe. If this Superman was James Gunn's plan all along, you can absolutely see why Henry Cavill wasn't the right fit. His Superman is worlds away from Corenswet's, not in quality, in tone. And that extends to the entire movie. There are absolutely dark elements. Kal-El's whole origin story is pretty dark in itself, which they don't do, by the way. Superman is already 3 years in, but it is referenced throughout the movie. I feel like at this point Clark Kent's origin story needs as much attention as Bruce Wayne's in movies or TV, as in just leave it out. Everyone knows, those tears have been shed. The war between fictional countries Baravia and Jaranpa as a subplot leans into heavy territory, especially with the state of current world affairs, but overall it is a lighter, more humorous groove than what's come before in recent years. If you love Clark Kent as much as you love Superman, Kal-El, you might be disappointed, or you might not actually care that much. There is a lot of Superman and not a lot of Clark Kent, which I think is a good thing, and a very deliberate thing. The few times we do see Kent are for the progression of other characters. Daily Planet colleagues, his partner Lois Lane, his parents. Superman is the focus rather than his alter ego. Those other characters are many. Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Lois Lane, the Kents, the Daily Planet folk, and so on and so forth. There are definite world-building elements to some of these choices. There's a Green Lantern show currently in development, and a Justice gang to build that will inevitably feature in future movies. There are also some staples. You can't have Superman without Lois Lane, the Kents, or the Daily Planet. Of the three, Lois Lane gets the most attention, but it did feel like their presence was just an introduction to them appearing more frequently in movies to come. We were given glimpses of Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Cat Grant, and Steve Lombard, but there's so much more for them to do. I'm confident they'll be regulars. In the interest of world building and connective tissue, we are gifted a glorious cameo by both John Cena's Peacemaker and Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord. Probably more if you know where to look, but those were the most prominent. And you'll be pleased to know the spectacle-shaped elephant in the universe is finally addressed. Clark Kent's utterly unconvincing disguise, the bloody glasses. The lamest attempt at discretion. The insult to the audience's intelligence passed down through the ages to now. You'll feel lighter and liberated, trust me. Fortunately, my gripes are few. Number one, the introduction of the Clarks was stupid. They are presented as technophobes who are seemingly unable to use a mobile phone. It was jarring. Number two, The evil hench people playing Superman's demise like an online game was just a bit annoying. I get that they work for a megalomaniac, but at times it felt a bit ridiculous. My question would be, are there really that many horrendous psychopaths living in Metropolis? But we are in the DC universe, so enough said. Number 3, it was cool to get a brief look at Millie Alcock's Supergirl, again with the world building, etc., but I wasn't filled with confidence. Trotting in like a bratty teenager? That could very well get annoying very quickly. But my mind is more open than a 24-hour garage. As a fan, did I mention I was a DC fan? I am so pleased this is such a strong start. My Superman knowledge and interest has generally been fairly average, but this movie was exciting and left me wanting more. More TV, more movies, more comics, bring it all on. As always, let us know your thoughts. Have you seen it? Will you be seeing it? And as always, have fun storming the castle.
Thanks very much for listening. If you'd like to contact us or check out what we've been up to, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you enjoyed the video today, please do like it, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell to receive notifications about new videos. See you in the next one.